Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm breaking down how I approach the UCLA Anderson MBA essays, including how to write an SAR structure, how to add that personal touch in your essay to really stand out, and my real essays that got me admitted to Anderson with a $120K scholarship. Let's dive right in. Anderson gives you 3 straightforward prompts. Why are you pursuing an MBA? What are your short-term and long-term career goals? What kind of leader are you and aim to be? These are classic MBA questions, but with a very tight word limit, so you need to be strategic in crafting your answers. People always say to use an SAR, situation, action, result structure, but it's easier said than done. So I wanted to break it down and show how I actually applied SAR in my own essays. Even in a short essay, you need to clearly explain the situation to give the reader enough context. For example, in my career goal essay, I first described my current job and the responsibilities before discussing what I wanted to do next. This sets the stage so the reader understands why I have the career aspirations I do. I included a pivotal moment in my career that changed my path to make my future goals feel more natural and grounded. The action part isn't just listing what you did. You need to explain the decision you made and why you made them. This shows your thought process and the values you stand by. For example, in my leadership essay, I mentioned forming a study group. Simply stating that doesn't say much, but explaining that I wanted to explore new topics together, it revealed that I valued teamwork. I broke down the specific steps like how we held the weekly meetings and gave honest feedback to paint a clearer picture. Sharing your actions step by step helps avoid big leaps in logic. The key is to explain both your actions and your thoughts behind it. Finally, there's the result. It's important to quantify your achievements. However, listing numbers alone doesn't tell the story full. You also need to explain the impact behind those numbers. For example, saying I boosted sales by 20% is good, but it's even stronger if you explain what that means. Did it change your mindset? Did it impact others? Did it shape your future goals? Interpreting your results adds depth. To be totally honest, I didn't include any numbers in my Anderson essays. I focused more on qualitative results and explaining their meaning while leaving the hard numbers to my resume. Whatever essay you write, SAR is the structure you want to follow. These essays are called personal statements for a reason. The admissions committee wants to know about you beyond the facts. They want to understand how you think, feel, and react. For me, this was challenging because I'm used to writing with a strong focus on facts. My early drafts felt dry and impersonal, almost like I was describing someone else. The best way to add that personal touch is by sharing your thoughts and emotions. What did a situation mean to you? Why did you respond the way you did? This perspective reveals your value and how you see the world. It's okay to mention emotions. For example, in my career essay, I wrote about how my disappointment led me to switch roles to make a change. That small emotional detail added warmth and depth. But don't overdo it. Your essay should still sound professional. So it's time to go over my essays one by one. The first one is on why MBA. I briefly described my current role and the impact to set context, then highlighted the skills I realized I needed to make a bigger impact. That contrast explained why I wanted an MBA. I didn't discuss why Anderson here due to space limit, but I tied it back in my leadership essay. I ended it by mentioning how my current skills will help me reach future goals. The second one is about my career goals. This essay also uses the same structure. First, setting the context with a pivotal moment from work that ignited my passion, then explaining my bigger mission and my career goals. While writing, I wondered if I should lose my career background because of the word limit, but I felt I still needed to explain the context so the reader thinks, that makes sense. Without that, my goals might feel disconnected or ungrounded. This essay also had a tight 150 word limit, but I didn't start short. I first wrote everything I wanted to say and then carefully trimmed it down, making sure to keep the details that made the story compelling while cutting out anything unnecessary. I asked my friends to read it to check if the story still felt alive and easy to follow. The last one is about my leadership experience. For the leadership essay, you need to pick one of the Anderson's transformative leadership principles. I chose the virtue that best describes me, being collaborative and inclusive. To show the kind of leader I am now, I shared an anecdote about leading a study group that focused on collaborative learning. Since my other two essays focused on professional experience, I wanted this one to highlight something more personal. I described how I led the group, making sure we gave honest feedback and refined our strategies together, pushing each other to learn deeply. While we faced some challenges, we ultimately achieved results that reinforced my belief in the power of collaboration. This naturally leads into the final paragraph, where I talk about how I plan to grow as a more collaborative leader at Anderson, joining clubs and activities that will help me build stronger results. This also subtly answers why Anderson is the right fit for me. That wraps up my walkthrough of Anderson essays. Hopefully, my tips will help you craft compelling personal statements that truly reflect who you are. If you have any questions or thoughts, please share them in the comments. Thanks for watching and all the best with your MBA journey.